Hello students, Jai Swami Narayan. Students, as you know, we have already started our chapter 3, that is human reproduction. Okay. In last video, we have discussed about male reproductive system, okay, with diagram. In this video, we are going to discuss about the female reproductive system. As you know, the female reproductive system consists of a pair of ovaries along with a pair of oviduct, we can also say fallopian tube, cervix, uterus, vagina, and the external genitalia located in the pelvic region. Okay, in next slide I will show you the diagram. Okay, these parts of the system along with a pair of the mammary glands also, and they are integrated structurally and functionally to support the process of ovulation, fertilization, pregnancy, birth and childcare. These all processes are included in the female reproductive system. Okay. Now you can see a diagram. It's a diagrammatic sectional view of the female reproductive system. In this diagram, all the main organs of the reproductive system is there. I will explain you one by one. Okay, so please listen and watch it carefully. You can see ovaries are the primary female sex organ. Okay, it's a pair of ovary. You can see both side. Okay, in diagram. So, it's a primary female sex organs that produce the female gamete. We can also say ovum, and some hormones also. We can say ovarian hormones, okay, which are secreted from the ovary, right? The ovaries are located one on each side of the lower abdomen. Okay, it's a this whole diagram you can see in the diagram in this slide. Okay, it's located in the female lower abdomen. Okay, and each ovary located one on each side of the lower abdomen. Okay, you can clearly see in the diagram. Each ovary is about 2 to 4 centimeter, okay, in length, and is connected to the pelvic wall and as well as uterus by ligament. Okay, one by one I will explain you all the organs and function of it. So it is about ovary, pair of ovary. Okay, each ovary is located on the both side, right, in lower abdomen. Each ovary is in 2 to 4 centimeter in length, right? Each ovary is covered by a thin epithelium which encloses the ovarian stroma, right? And the stroma is divided into the two zones. One is a peripheral cortex and an inner medulla. Now what is peripheral cortex, inner medulla? I will explain you in next diagram. Okay. Then next and very important organ of this reproductive system is oviduct. We can also say fallopian tubes, right? So these fallopian tubes, uterus and vagina constitute, we can say, the female accessory ducts. Each fallopian tube is about 10 to 12 centimeter long and is extends from the periphery of each ovary to the uterus. You can clearly see in the diagram. Okay, two fallopian tubes, right? Each has 10 to 12 centimeter long and it's extend from the periphery of each ovary to the uterus. Okay, you can see in the diagram. Then the part very closer to the ovary, you can see, is a funnel shaped, right? And this is called as the infundibulum. Okay, you can see in the diagram, very nearer part of the ovary, right? Then the edge of this infundibulum possess finger-like structure. We can say finger-like projection is called as a fimbriae. Okay, you can see in the diagram, and from this ovary is connected, right? And also it helps in collection of the ovum after ovulation. Okay, so it is the function of this. Then The infundibulum leads to a wider part of the oviduct. We can say ampulla. You can see in the diagram. Okay, after infundibulum, the next part, the wider part is the ampulla. Okay, in the fallopian tube. The last part of the oviduct is isthmus, has a narrow lumen and it joins the uterus to the fallopian tube. Okay, it is a, we can say it's a joining part of the fallopian tube and uterus, right? Then the uterus, it's a single and we can also say womb. Okay, it, the shape you can see in the diagram, it's a inverted pear, है ना? Uterus shape is a like a inverted pear and it is a supported by ligaments attached to the pelvic wall, right? The uterus open into vagina through the narrow cervix. Okay, you can see in the diagram. See, first of all, we have discussed about ovary, then fallopian tube, 3 and 4 parts of the fallopian tube, then uterus, then cervix. Okay, and after cervix, you know, cervical canal is there. Okay, which along with vagina forms the birth canal. Okay, from the birth canal of the baby. Then the wall of the uterus has 3 layers of the tissue. Okay, there are 3 layers of the uterus. You can see in the diagram: endometrium, myometrium and perimetrium. Okay, endometrium is the inner layer, myometrium is the middle layer and perimetrium is the external layer. You can clearly see in the diagram. Okay, now what is this? The external and thin membranous, it's a perimetrium. Okay, I can say that middle thick layer of smooth muscle, it's a myometrium as I told you, and inner glandular layer called endometrium, and that lines the uterus cavity. Okay, in its function is also very important. What? So the endometrium undergoes cyclical changes during menstrual cycle, which the myometrium exhibits strong contraction during delivery of the baby. So the 3 layers and their function are also very important in this process, right? Then next is a diagrammatic sectional view of female pelvis showing reproductive organ. Okay, now what about this? The female external genitalia includes mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, hymen and clitoris. Okay, these are the again main some external genitalia. One by one we will see. What is mons pubis? You can see in the diagram. Mons pubis is a cushion of fatty tissue, okay, covered by skin and also pubic hair. So it give protection also, right? Then the labia majora are fleshy folds of tissue which extend down from the mons pubis and surrounded the vaginal opening. Okay, you can see in the diagram. It is the structure and it is the location in the body, right? Then the labia minora are paired folds of tissue under the labia majora, right? Then the opening of the vagina is often, you know, covered partially by a membrane called hymen. It's a, we can say it like a you know, curtain like structure. So the clitoris is a tiny finger like structure which lies at the upper junction of the 2 labia minora above the urethral opening. Okay, as I told you, the hymen is, you know, often torn during the first intercourse because it's a curtain like structure. Okay, so it is about, you know, female pelvis reproductive system. Okay, all organs are there. Then next is a diagrammatic view of mammary glands. Okay, a functional mammary gland is characteristic of all female mammals, right? The mammary glands are paired structure that contain glandular tissue and variable amount of fat. Okay, So the glandular tissue of each breast is divided into 15 to 20 mammary lobes. You can clearly see in the diagram. Okay. Now the mammary lobes containing cluster of cells we can say alveoli, right? The cell of alveoli secrete milks, okay, which is the main function of the mammary gland. We can say it's a secretion of milk for her baby, right? So this milk stored in the cavities of alveoli. The alveoli open into mammary tubules and the last tubules of each lobe join to form a mammary duct. Okay, you can see in the diagram. And then several mammary ducts join to form a wider mammary ampulla which is connected to lactiferous duct. Okay, and from that milk is sucked out for baby, right? So it is about mammary gland and how milk is produced, right? So student, this is about female reproductive system. Okay, in our next video we will discuss about gametogenesis. Okay, then some structure of sperm and menstrual cycle, spermatogenesis, oogenesis. This we will discuss up in our next video. Thank you. Jai Swaminarayan.